Put in cat food that doesn't do good for your cat. If you've been trying to make healthy choices for your cat, you may have heard the term species appropriate. What that term means is to give an animal the type of food their species is designed to eat. An example would be with corn. Corn is species appropriate for a squirrel or a raccoon, but because a cat would never eat corn in the wild, it is not species appropriate for a cat. The worst fillers are corn, wheat, and soy, along with the heaviest grains like barley, oatmeal, and white rice. These fillers are put into pet foods so the manufacturers can make more money. After all, they are much, much cheaper than meat. The problem is that these fillers don't just fill your cat up, they literally ruin their digestion. You've probably heard that gluten is bad for you. Well, one of the main fillers used by pet food companies is wheat gluten, and it's actually a leading cause of cat allergies. Listen, if there is one thing you learned from me today, make it this: a cat is an obligate carnivore. They should be eating predominantly meat. A dog is an omnivore. They can eat meat, some veggies, and maybe a little bit of grain. But if you look at a dog's teeth, then look at your cat's. You'll notice your cat's teeth are even pointier and sharper. That's for tearing up and chewing meat. In the wild, all cats are meat eaters. The only time they ever eat veggies is when they are in the contents of the stomach and the small intestines of an animal they kill. A good cat food will have a small amount of veggies in it and also fruit to mimic a natural diet, but it'll always be mostly meat. I've had many pet food companies ask me to be an endorser of products that use these cheap fillers. They try to tell me things like corn are healthy. I say, have you ever seen a cat in the wild stalk an ear of corn? As my colleague, respected veterinarian Dr. Elisa Katz says, corn, not appropriate for a carnivore. It is an incomplete protein, contains gluten, and is one of the more allergenic food substances, especially since pretty much all of it is GMO. Dr. Elisa Katz. What's really sad is that these fillers are even in many pet foods that claim to be natural and premium. Sadly, I used to feed Zatz, one of the big-name cat foods whose brand name I can't mention here. Imagine my horror when I looked and saw the number one ingredient in that food was corn. I was already a veterinarian at the time, so you can see how anyone could make this mistake. The labels on the bag said it was beneficial, balanced, and nutritious, when in reality, that was lies, lies, lies. Pet food labels can be just as misleading today as they were in the 70s. So if you've had trouble finding the best food for your cat, it's not your fault. Now I want to reveal to you my first cat longevity discovery. It's a special meat that contains more essential vitamins than any other kind of protein. Hearty doses of B vitamins, folic acid, and minerals like phosphorus, iron, copper, magnesium, and iodine, and the important fat-soluble vitamins A, E, and K. What kind of meat am I talking about? Organ meat. Compared to regular cuts of meat, organ meats are more densely packed with just about every nutrient. So if you haven't fed your cat a food blend with organ meats in it, he or she is in for a treat. Not only do cats love the taste, it's a nutrient burst they cannot get from any other source. While organ meat may not be the most appetizing to us, this is a nutrient-rich food source cats have been eating for thousands and thousands of years. Most modern cat foods deprive your cat of this premium ingredient. So when you restore organ meats to your cat's diet, it's only natural that you will have a healthier cat, which usually means many more happy years with your cat. Organ meats also have an extremely high concentration of vitamin D. So if you live in a cold area and your cat is not getting vitamin D from the sun, it's even more important you get organ meat into their diet. I'll share a simple way to get organ meats to your feline in a moment. And no, it's not buying expensive products at a butcher shop, and you won't have to do any prepping. Though first, it's important I share with you the second cat health destroyer you must watch out for, which is preservatives. Preservatives are put in pet foods to prevent them from going bad on a store shelf. The problem with that? Mother Nature never intended your cat's food to sit on a shelf at all. The preservatives used in most cat foods do a number on your cat's digestive system. And the reason why is because they are bacteria killers. When your cat eats preservatives, they kill much of the good bacteria in your cat's digestive tract. This can result in all kinds of serious problems, from skin and coat issues to weight gain, to excessive shedding, irregular pooping, even depression. And the really sad thing is, most owners never realize this. Because you see, when you and I are having a tummy ache, we can say something about it, but your cat cannot. And you know how sometimes you eat a meal that tastes great going down? Yet a little later, you don't feel good and you wish you hadn't eaten it. Sadly, this is the experience cats have with many of the foods you will find in stores. It pains me to think about how many cats may be suffering in silence because of the preservatives making it difficult for them to digest. Here are the preservatives you need to watch out for in your cat's food. Butylated hydroxytoluene, or BHT. Its nasty cousin BHA, and propylene glycol, which is also found in antifreeze. Now, since so many cat foods use preservatives, you may be wondering if you need to start making your cat food yourself. And I say, if you have the time and money, that's a great thing to do. But if not, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to spot foods that are made with a safe and natural preservative. First, I want to share with you the second of the 4 cat longevity discoveries I mentioned to you earlier. Prebiotics. Remember those good bacteria in your cat's tummy we just talked about that help your cat with digestion? Prebiotics are superfoods for your cat's good gut bacteria. Yes, you heard me right. Prebiotics are not what your cat eats, but what your cat's good gut bacteria needs. Because when you give your cat's good gut bacteria what they need to flourish, they can help your kitty digest food smoothly. They support your cat's immune system, support healthy digestion, and protect your cat from environmental toxins as well. Here's the best part about giving your cat prebiotics. The better digestion helps your cat get more energy from their food. This is why it seems to often reverse signs of aging, and if you have an older cat, give them youthful pep you may not have seen in a while. Prebiotics that I recommend for cats are
flaxseed, peas, carrots, and ginger.
I'll show you how to get them into your cat's diet easily in just a moment. Once you do, your cat should experience easier and smoother digestion, faster metabolism, more regular pooping, a less smelly litter box, and better absorption of good nutrients and vitamins. And here's what's most exciting. Scientists have now discovered that serotonin, which is the happy hormone that controls moods in humans and animals, is primarily made in the digestive tract. So when you give your cat prebiotics to help support healthy digestion, more serotonin is produced, and you'll have a happier cat. Amazing, right? Proper levels of serotonin have also now been linked to less aggression and less stress in cats. So if you want to give your cat a better quality of life, this is a great way to do it. The third cat health destroyer you need to be aware of is meat byproducts. Meat byproducts, or as sometimes labeled byproduct meal, are nothing but slaughterhouse waste. They are what's left of an animal after slaughter and after all the cuts of meats for humans are removed. This can contain organs, however, it can also contain just about anything else: feet, beaks, brains, undeveloped eggs, pieces of tumors. Yes, pieces of tumors. They can also include intestines with the best effort to remove feces. Can you imagine that? These food companies actually have a guy at the meat place washing the feces out of the intestines, then putting them into cat foods. Pretty gross, right? I'm not feeding my cats that. So if you see chicken byproduct, beef byproduct, lamb byproduct, or duck byproduct on your cat's food, unfortunately, you should probably just toss it out. Our cats deserve better than these scraps. Also, be aware of generic meat products that are marked on the label as meat meal or meat and bone meal. These can contain roadkill, dead zoo animals, dead livestock, and worst of all, euthanized pets from pet shelters, which can still have the poison in their bodies. Yes, it's really that bad. That leads me to my third cat longevity discovery that supports your cat in good health: omega-3s. Studies have shown that omega-3 fatty acids are very important to brain health. They are associated with an increased brain volume, and they may even help reverse signs of brain aging. This is why it's not surprising that cat owners who start putting more omega-3s in their cats' diets find their cats become friendlier and more active. Not to mention, many cats have problems with pain, and I've seen in my practice that omega-3s can help with that. In my experience, I have also found omegas to be great for helping ease those occasional cat allergies. Now, there are many great omega-3 supplements on the market designed for cats. However, I'm going to show you a way to get them into your cat's food so you don't need to buy an expensive supplement. First, I now need to tell you about the common food you'll find in any pet store that could lead to heart problems for your cat: cooked food. You'll recall earlier we talked about the importance of feeding your cat a diet that is species appropriate, or more simply, what they would eat in the wild. And in the wild, a cat's diet has a lot of moisture. If you give your cat dry food only, he or she is getting very little moisture. This is even worse for cats than it is for dogs because cats don't drink as much water, which is why a dry food diet can cause dehydration in your cat and stress to their organs. What about gently cooked food? A very common health problem house cats now have is cardiomyopathy. This means a disease of the heart. Cardiomyopathy is caused by not getting enough of the amino acid taurine. Taurine is found in meat. However, the heating and cooking that happens in the making of a typical commercial pet food strips the meat of nearly all of the taurine. In fact, the process strips away so many of the vitamins, some companies have to use synthetic spray-on vitamins just to meet the AAFCO standards. Sadly, this includes some foods claiming to be natural, human-grade, and raw. These synthetic vitamins are not bioavailable to your cat. What this means is they go in one end and out the other. This actually depletes energy in your cat's body because your cat does all that digesting for nothing. Not to mention the long-term health issues that can arise in your cat because he or she is not getting the needed vitamins. You'll remember that I was feeding my cat Zatz a dry kibble food at the time of his death. Many canned foods and the gently cooked packaged foods are not much better. And they are still not a species-appropriate meal for your cat. All cats in the wild are carnivores, and they all eat their meat raw. Which brings me to my next cat longevity discovery, which has been the key to being able to help thousands of cats live into their late teens and even 20s without any food-related health troubles. Raw food. Now, the thought of eating raw meat can be a little odd to some of us, and I get that. Not to mention, over the years, rumors have been spread that raw food can give cats parasites. Well, that's not entirely true, and there is now a simple way to get raw food for your cat safely that is not expensive, which I'll share in a minute. Why is raw food so powerful for cats? It's because your cat's digestive system is almost identical to their wild relatives. In fact, recent studies prove that house cats share 95.6% of their DNA with their ancient ancestor, the tiger. So raw food is the most natural meal you can feed your cat. In my professional opinion, as a veterinarian who has helped thousands of cats overcome nutrition-related illnesses, you should try to avoid giving cooked food meals to your cat. A snack is okay from time to time, but too much cooked food will leave your cat's heart with very little of the nutritional support that he or she needs. Now, this doesn't mean you should give your cat a bunch of raw steaks or fish. It's still important that their diet be balanced. What this means is to include a small portion of veggies and fruits, just like a cat in the wild would get when it eats the stomach of its prey. You could definitely prepare a food like this for your own cat at home, and 20 years ago, I even wrote a book on pet food recipes. Though while I'm happy that thousands of people began home preparing cat foods after reading my book, I received many letters over the years from people telling me that it just wasn't possible to prepare every meal. And hey, I get it. I know in a perfect world, we would all try to make home prep meals for our pets every single day. But the ingredients can be expensive, and sometimes life gets in the way. So what's a cat lover to do? Well, as a veterinarian who's appeared on a lot of talk shows, I get asked to endorse a lot of pet foods. I've never been able to say yes because I've always known prepping meals at home was so much better. However, in the last few years, there have been some new developments in the pet food world that are very exciting. Scientists have now figured out how to put high-quality, raw food in a freeze-dried form that you can serve to your cat at home. Just add a little bit of water and it's ready to go. One of the best parts is the freeze-drying process makes the food completely safe for your cat to consume. In fact, I have never once heard of a cat or dog getting any sort of bug from a food made this way. When I heard about this breakthrough, a light bulb went off in my head. This new process could make a wholesome, raw diet affordable and convenient for cat lovers everywhere. But could it be done to my strict standards of quality? I decided to find out for myself. I decided to see if I could get a raw, freeze-dried cat food made to my standards. If it could be done, great. If not, I'd keep telling people to prepare meals at home like I've always done. I begin with a recipe. You see, if I were to create a food to give a cat heart health support, kidney health support, a nice sleek body with good muscle tone, good energy, easy digestion, immune support, joint and coat support, strong brain health, and of course, a delicious taste, it would look like this. High-quality raw meat proteins made from the same cuts of meat we humans enjoy, not the leftover pieces or parts. Healthy fats from cows, a high amount of nutrient-rich organ meats that cats love, and high levels of EPA, DHA, those powerful omega-3s I mentioned to you earlier, to support your cat's brain health and body health. Typically, a caring cat lover will have to get omega-3s in supplement form, but I know the right organ meats that contain high amounts of the essential fatty acids such as arachidonic acid and omega-3 fats, which are the ultimate nutrients for supporting your cat's brain health, immune health, and naturally fighting inflammation.
So I would put those special organ meats like chicken heart and chicken liver in the food too. The food would also contain veggies and fruits that are prebiotics like flaxseed, giving your cat's good bacteria what it needs to thrive.
And I wouldn't stop there. I'd also add in polyphenols. These are powerful nutrients found in dark berries that I've had many pet lovers tell me have led to an increase in their cat's energy, which makes sense as polyphenols have now been shown in scientific studies to increase athletic performance for us humans. Not to mention, polyphenols are powerful antioxidants which aid in protecting cells from damage. And as you can guess, the food would contain no grains, no fillers, and no nasty preservatives. Instead, I would use mixed tocopherols, a natural preservative derived from vitamin E that won't hurt your cat's tummy. Was it even possible to create a food like this? I had no idea, but I was going to find out. My team and I began visiting food manufacturers. I finally tracked down an independent pet food manufacturing company run by a brilliant veterinarian turned holistic pet food specialist, and I finally got a yes on creating a cat food to my exact specifications. There was only one catch. The food couldn't be made in a large quantity like those big store brands. Fine by me, I said. After all, I knew that this food would not be for everybody. You see, while I know most people who have cats love their cats, sadly, I know very few actually do the research on how to give their cats an optimal diet. So even though the food could not be made in large quantities, I decided to move forward anyway. This way, I would at least have something to recommend at my practice. Plus, there was also a big upside. This manufacturer is a pioneer of the premium freeze-dried raw process. The way they do it allows the quality ingredients to retain their nutrient content, and it wouldn't need to be refrigerated. Cat lovers would be able to just add water, and it would be ready to go. After many months of tweaking the formula to get it just right, the first sample showed up at my clinic. I had it tested to make sure the nutrient content had held up. And I was pleased to discover it contained an even richer vitamin and mineral profile than I had hoped for. But would finicky cats eat it? After all, what good is a healthy food if your cat doesn't like the taste? I gave it the real test. I brought it over to my friend Beth, and here's how her cat enjoyed it. This was one of the happiest moments of my life. These days, the number one issue cats have is renal problems. And with so few cats getting proper nutrition, I feel that is why. We detect renal problems by presence of elevated blood-kidney values, and I have seen so many cats have these values improved just by switching their diets to one of predominantly raw meat. As my friend and colleague, Dr. Karen Becker says, a diet high in excellent quality protein and lower than normal amounts of sodium and phosphorus is recommended. And that's exactly what I set out to create with my own cat food. This is why I knew this food would allow me to make a change globally, not just in my practice. I don't want to see what happened to Zotz happen to any other cats. When I got the first bag of my cat food and it passed the nutrition test, then my cat's taste test, I knew my vision was about to come true. I'm proud to now present to you Dr. Marty Nature's Feast, a premium freeze-dried raw cat food. This food is based on my 45 years of experience working with animals and healing cats other doctors said could not be helped.
Every bag contains 87% of excellent quality meat protein, which is my recommended amount for optimal cat health. I'm talking about raw salmon, raw turkey, raw whitefish, and raw organ meats. I carefully selected the organ meats for maximum nutrient and omega-3 fat content. Raw chicken liver, raw chicken hearts, and raw chicken gizzard. The other 13% is made up of the veggies and fruits I've personally found to be the most effective for cat longevity and because they are prebiotics. Sweet potato, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, peas, carrots, apples, blueberries, cranberries, ginger, kelp, spinach, broccoli, mixed tocopherols. Let me stress again that while I put a lot of good veggies and fruits in the food, it is 87% raw meat and raw organ meat.
There are no nasty preservatives, just a natural mixed tocopherol blend to keep it fresh on your shelf for as long as you need. While there are other freeze-dried cat foods on the market, this is the only food to meet my strict nutrition standards for felines. Freeze-dried raw, organ meats, high-fat, human grade. And if you've never fed your cat freeze-dried food before, you and your cat are in for a treat. It's simple to prepare. Pull out the number of nuggets that are recommended for your cat's age and weight, then just add water. 3 minutes later, it's ready to eat. But be warned, your cat will start to smell it when it's out of the bag. And those 3 minutes, while they were waiting for the water to do its thing, will have your cat salivating for that delicious flavor to come. Shake that bag of food, and they will come running. I formulated Dr. Marty Nature's Feast to be the most nutritious choice for your cat, whether it's a he or she, a kitten, young, middle-aged, or senior, and it's especially a favorite of my patients who are rescues or have had health problems in the past. The formula is designed to mimic what your cat would eat in the wild, but with a special twist. It ensures your cat gets the maximum nutrient content in every meal. This is why so many of my fellow veterinarians are now recommending this food. So if you were sent here today by your veterinarian, please pass on my gratitude, and your cat will be thankful as well. I'll share with you a few more of the amazing benefits your cat will likely feel from this food at the end of this video. For now, I know since you're watching this, you care deeply about your cat. So I want to share with you how you can get it to your best friend right away. Now, as you can guess, when word spread around the industry that I had created my own cat food, the excitement was unbelievable. However, I've decided to go a different route. You see, because this food is made from premium human-grade ingredients, it was quite expensive to produce. If you were to try to make it for your cat yourself in your kitchen, depending on the size of your cat, you could spend several $100s a month on the ingredients. If you love cats as much as I do, and I'm guessing you do, then I'm sure you could understand how important it was for me to make this food affordable for any cat lover. I've decided to make Dr. Marty Nature's Feast available directly from me. This way, I could do 3 things. Number 1, I can assure it ships to you quickly. 2, my team can provide you with great customer service. And 3, I can make sure you get it at the lowest price possible. So when you order my freeze-dried raw cat food, Nature's Feast, you are not going to pay $100 a bag. You're not even going to pay $70. When you order it now, directly from this website, you'll get a 12-ounce bag for just $29.95. Update: since I first announced the release of my cat food, the outpouring of joy from cat lovers has been amazing. Here's what people are saying about Nature's Feast. For years, I have known of all the unhealthy things in regular commercial cat food and tried to give my cats the best I could find. That also involved buying extra things they needed to add to their food. But I don't have to do that now because it's all in one place with Dr. Marty's. There is no doubt to me that this is the best cat nutrition out there, hands down. Bill F. I have been very pleased with Dr. Marty's freeze-dried meals because my darling Nightshade, who is 3, liked it better than any other food he has tried in the past. To say he is a finicky eater is saying the least. His youthful playing and longer attention span has returned. Thank you for caring and sharing your research, time, and love with others. Elizabeth C. Robinson. To be honest, I wasn't sure about this food, but I'm truly amazed. We have 2 cats. My 14-year-old male has been eating it for a month now, and I am so blown away. He is doing things he hasn't been able to do in years. It makes me so happy to see him so full of life again. Haley Smith. People all over the world are ordering my freeze-dried raw cat food. We are finally back in stock now, and the good news is we've been able to place a much larger order. So to celebrate the release of this world-changing food, my team and I have decided to put together a special new customer-only offer. Now, instead of paying $29.95 a bag, when you order Dr. Marty Nature's Feast in a 4-pack, you'll pay just $28.45 a bag. And my team has just put together some even deeper discounts for a 8-pack. However, because we want as many cat lovers as possible to be able to get it to their cat, we must limit this offer to 8 bags per customer. Because of the special sealing and freeze-drying process, the food won't go bad in your cupboard. Every bag will be as fresh as the day you order, the moment you open it up. Now, this current batch is not a big one, and it will likely sell out soon. Though when you click on the order button below, if you see the order options, that means it's still available. Oh, here's something else I'm really excited about. You see, because I'm so confident that Dr. Marty Nature's Feast will make a huge improvement in your cat's health and happiness, I've decided to do something no cat food producer is doing. I've decided to back it up with the first ever Your Cat is Healthier or It's Free guarantee. Here's how it works. When you click on the order button below, you'll be taken to our secure order page. Fill out your shipping and billing information. Everything is protected with the same web security used by Apple and Amazon.com. Your food will arrive on your doorstep in just a few short days. Then, give it to your cat. Watch how much they love the taste. They won't be able to wait for their next bowl. Then, pay attention to your cat's health. And if you like, take him to your local veterinarian. If you and your veterinarian don't see noticeable improvements in your cat's health and happiness, simply let us know. You can send back the unused portion anytime within 90 days, and I'll refund every cent of your purchase price. That's how confident I am in what this food will do for your cat's health. Whether it's a shinier, fuller coat, more energy, more regular poops, a calmer mood, feeling more attentive to you and better behaved, even just having the healthier teeth and gums that come from eating human-grade ingredients your cat was meant to eat, I'm confident you're going to notice big, positive changes. If not, because we really want you to try the food, you can even send us back the empty bag and we'll still process your refund, no questions asked. That's how strongly I stand behind this cat food. The formula comes from my 45 years experience helping animals live the longest, healthiest lives possible, much longer than even their human friends expected. Because if you think the changes you see in the first few weeks are amazing, think about what's going to happen to your cat's health after eating this high-quality, delicious food for a few months. Many owners report that teeth look healthier and cleaner, coats get shinier, and feel thicker and fuller. Your cat's body looks healthier, and cats get a glow about them. They just seem happier and more loving all the time. You may also notice their water consumption goes down because your cat isn't getting as dehydrated. You'll also see poops become more manageable and less bulky. The litter box will likely not smell as bad. And obese cats will lose weight and become more muscular. You'll also notice the cat wants to interact more with you and they can bond better with you. Because when your cat is getting better nutrients in their food, it's getting more power to their brain. And don't forget how much happier your cat can be when serotonin production is working better. If this sounds like a lot to expect from just a simple change in food, well then, you are correct. The way I explain it to cat lovers in my clinic is this. Imagine if someone was feeding you crappy food, then they switched over to feeding you delicious, healthier foods every single day. Not only would you be appreciative, you would have big changes in your health. A healthier body is a happier body, and when your cat is healthier, that means less money spent on fixes for a sick cat. It's truly revolutionary how big of a difference great nutrition can make. And the reason why I created my own cat food is because I never like to hear about a cat getting sick. I put everything I've discovered in the last 4 decades of healing animals into this recipe, and I know it's going to make an amazing difference in your cat's health and happiness. So click on the link below and give it a try for your cat today. The new customer-only offer is only available through this special video while supplies last. So grab yours now and please accept my sincere thank you. As a lover of cats myself, it means a lot to me that you care for yours enough to spend your time with me today learning about cat health and making this investment in your cat's happiness. This is Dr. Marty Goldstein, and I'll talk to you again soon. Still